stories, things we shouldn't say, but we're gonna laugh about them anyway. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. With a wild tale to tell, from the road, the stage, or a barroom hell. The crowd's getting loud and the stories get strange. Every single night the chaos rearranges. No scripts here, just the truth and the laughs, and maybe a roast if you cross Glick's path. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Late nights, loose minds, stories all around. You're hanging out tonight at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge.
I'm like a true professional. I'm that. That's right. Got done doing everything I needed to do right as the show was starting. Hell yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nonsensical Network. Glick's Comedy Lounge, Comedy Unleashed. If you're not already, go ahead and check us out everywhere. bio.link/Nonsensical Network. Got all them links there for you guys to give us a follow and a like and a little share if you'd be so kind. We'd greatly appreciate that. And don't forget, we do have the super chats going on the YouTube. If you guys want to help support the channel, you can do that. Not required, but greatly appreciated. It helps keeps the lights on and helps us pay all them bills around here. Unfortunately, it's not free to do this. I mean, it could be, but I'm not lazy and I like to do things right. Right-ish. But I already said that. Enough about us. Enough about me. I haven't been here for like a week, but I'm going to figure it all out. It's all about the comedy. It's all about the comedians on Wednesday night. I think I'm funny, but I'm definitely not a comedian. This gentleman hanging out with me tonight is both. Welcome to the stage, everybody. Mr. Ace Williams. What's going on, brother?
I love that theme music. That's badass.
A little AI, I like to, I'm not a songwriter by no means, but I like to, I wrote most of the majority of that, and then I had I'm terrible at the English language. I've been kicking the English language's ass for 45 years, and beating it like a government mule. So I slid it through just to check my grammar and all that stuff before I made the song. But I'm happy with it. I think it's fun. It's catchy. It's goofy. It's just.
You should be proud. You should be proud of that. That's nice.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking some time out of your evening, and I'm sure busy schedule to come hang out with us here on the Nonsensical Network in the lounge, as I like to call it. Hopefully everything's good down there, and you're not dying of the heat.
No, I'm doing good, Glick. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll jump right into it, man. I gotta ask you, and hopefully this isn't too personal, but I gotta ask you, and we'll get into the reason why I'm asking you. How young of a gentleman are you?
How old is I? I am 63.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah.
I would have never guessed you. And we'll get into why I ask you that, and I know you guys are probably watching, going, "What kind of stupid ass question is that, Glick? Who cares how old the guy is?" Well, we're gonna get to it later. Just buckle in and hang tight. There's a method to my madness. So how long have you been doing the comedy thing?
Oh, about 15 years. Yeah. Before that, I was a musician. I performed as a lead vocalist and frontman for my own band before that. So been busy in the entertainment world for a long time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely, and as far as comedy goes, you're a seasoned veteran.
Yep.
You're definitely the old dog on the block, so to say.
Yeah. When I first got into comedy, I helped as a promotions manager for a comedy club, a satellite of Coconuts Comedy Club. They had a different room, and I did marketing, promotions. I booked the guest sets for the comics, and I ran an open mic every Thursday for 2.5 years. And then after that, I started a comedy class with a headlining comic for the locals that wanted to get into comedy for 2 different sessions. Sadly, the gentleman passed away, so we suspended that class. I mean, after that class was dismissed, there was no more going on with that. Yeah.
So let me ask you something, because this is still a relatively newer show on here, and I've had a lot of comedians come through, and a lot of them do say that they go through the comedy class, and it's kind of been curious, thing that's on my mind, and I usually slips my mind, but I mean, what goes into a comedy class? I mean, what are they teaching you in there?
Well, aside from my class, other classes that I've gone to when I first started was to develop your own stage presence, your own persona. You want your material to fit what you're going for. You want to try to build your own original style. And you also want to have control of the mic and control the mic stand, control of the audience, confidence, writing skills, learning how to write a joke, learning where the punchline is, and learning how to make the proper setup for that punchline. Also, on the other side, there's a business aspect of learning how to market yourself, learning how to get gigs, learning how to set up an electronic press kit to send out to everybody, mass media, social media, all the different types of online social media, and there's so much more than that.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was, I mean, I kind of had a general idea, but I'm not a comedian by no means. So, and the old saying, don't assume. I had a general idea, but I wasn't trying to realize that there was so much involved. I was, again, just thinking like, oh, they just go in there and teach you, how to set up a joke and your timing and stuff. But it sounds like it's definitely, if you're thinking about getting in comedy, it would be a wise choice if it's available in your area to jump into a class and take it outside of just jumping on stage and thinking that you're funny.
You may not get everything you need out of one comedy class, but you're definitely going to get a lot. And there are many books to read on being your own comedian in the market. So I became a student before I did anything. I studied other comedians is very key. You want to, like, if you go to a show and you're a guest comic, you want to stay to see the headliner and learn how he handles an audience live, and how to handle a heckler or someone's talking, or learn how to read the room. You know, when to pull up a joke because someone's having a birthday or an anniversary, or there's a bachelorette party, and you know how to put that into your set, and that how to get that extra rapport than just going up there and telling jokes. So
yeah. Yeah, not just because you're funny in your group don't mean you're funny on stage. You know?
Yeah, well, not every audience is going to be the same. You know, every audience is going to be different. The layout of the comedy room or bar or wherever you perform makes a big difference. I've been in rooms where all the tables are totally separated, far away from each other, in a big area for like 200 people. But if the tables are all separated and not close to the stage, you're not going to get that bonding of the audience laughing together.
Yeah,
and that becomes a totally different situation. It's not as good as a group sitting close together, close to the stage, where everybody feels comfortable laughing about the jokes, and with the audience alongside with the comedian, and and that becomes very special when you have a group that's really into the show together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, any form of entertainment you're in, especially being comedy and being up there on stage, you definitely want to have the crowd involved, and not necessarily a part of the act, but you definitely want them there laughing and having a good time. But yeah, I can see where that could kind of throw off the energy of the room if you've got everybody kind of pulled off and separated.
When I've talked to promoters that set up a show, I stress it. Hey, we got to get the tables together. We got to get them close to the stage. If there's a way, even if we're doing single file or double file chairs and mini tables, cocktail tables, just to keep them all together, because it's a big difference. Did some big shows where the tables are all split apart and it's like 150 yards long, and the tables are all separated. Nobody can even hear the other tables laughing hardly, and because it's outside venue, that makes a difference. So yeah, I've got a show coming up October 10th. It's going to be outside in a big backyard. It's a barbecue restaurant, and they have live bands at this big stage in the back, and it has like 300 people. So I talked to the manager, and he's in total agreement. We got to put the tables and the chairs as close to the stage. It's not a band. It's a comedy show. He's totally on board 100%. So we're looking forward to a good show at the Circle S Barbecue in Hudson, Florida, October 10th. So it's going to be an outdoor show. And we checked the time and day when the sun sets. So we would be performing at night, right at the certain time. So yeah, you want to get the lights going, and they plan everything.
October 10th is a great day to do it. That's my birthday. So everybody go out and have a laugh on my birthday if you're near Hudson, Florida.
I'll give you a shout out. So we could have waited. We could have done it earlier, but there's all the weather and the rain. We've been getting flooded with rain. If I booked it anytime during the summer, we would run a risk of a cancellation. So this is like when the weather changes back.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate downfall, with the summertime and outdoor venues, and especially you guys, anywhere down along the coast. I lived in Charleston for about 10 years, a little while back, and even on that coast, man, it could be blue skies, sun shining, and just start downpour rain. Like, what's going on?
Time to cover up the speakers.
Yeah, but yeah, no, even just up home this past weekend, we had some storms, and I know I've got some friends that are musicians and whatnot, and they had outdoor gigs playing this past weekend, and they had to cancel because of the weather. You know, and it's just like, that sucks, man. Like, if you're gonna have an outdoor stage, at least put an awning or something over it so you can protect the gear. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Me as a construction guy, my brain goes, you know, if I was going to do this, this is what I would do so that we could have a show and still protect equipment, and you know. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
What do I know? I'm just a jerk. Yeah.
I've done, as a live musician, I've done a lot of shows outside where we had to protect our stuff last second. It started coming down. We get some tarps out and start covering speakers, unplugging anything electrical, and waiting for the stuff to end, and getting back on stage, and half the stage is wet and stuff. It's a nightmare, but you go through it.
Yeah, it's part of the business, I guess. It's, you know, it's going to come with it. I got to ask you. You know, we were talking a little bit backstage, and it sounds like you were doing pretty well as a musician. Were you guys you mentioned you were one of the top cover bands down there. Did you guys just cover anything and everything, or did you cover a specific band? Or
well, what I focus on were three things. Number one, all the newest songs that were coming out that were on the radio that were really getting a lot of airplay and a lot of groundswell. So it was, back in that time, it was like Soundgarden and things like that, and great songs from that era. And then we focus on anything you could dance to, like it could be in any genre, but if you could party to it and get the people on the dance floor, we had a whole 2 sets where we just go song to song to song to song to song, non-stop.
Nice.
We'd have the drummer fill in for the next song, or the bass start playing a solo for the beginning of the next song, and we were just non-stop. So we were like say if a DJ mixed a bunch of songs, we were just doing like that live. One. So we'd have a couple sets like that, and then we'd also the last thing was like college radio rock and retro 80s dance. So we're talking Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cure, The Cult, The Clash, U2, Modern English, things like that. So those were popular back when we were doing the sets too. So we'd have and then 1 or 2 classic rock, Doors or Leonard Skinner, because that's really popular down here still. And so we had a nice mix, and depending on where we played, we could tweak the set list to fit the club.
Yeah,
because we had more songs than we had more songs than we could play in a night, so we had a lot of leeway.
Nice. So what was that turning point where you transitioned from music into comedy? What made you transition into comedy? Well,
like in between some songs, or starting off a set, I'd crack a joke in the band, or if there was a time to do a quick joke, I'd do one of my original jokes and pop it in there, and people laugh. So, but then I got into a duo group after the band broke up. So I was playing cruise ships. So the cruise ships were me and another guy, and we do the Jimmy Buffett yacht rock stuff, and so I'd write more comedy for that. So because it's a yacht and people like to have fun and be really loose and lose their money in the casino. And so, you want to make these people happy, even if they're like, I've seen some people walk out flat broke, and they're like, you could tell the look on their face, like, damn, I'm broke now today. It's like, I got no money for rent next week. So we try to cheer them up. So I'd crack more jokes. And then I got into a corporate gig. So I started writing jokes to talk to my customers on the phone. And it was a really high, well-paying sales gig on the phone, selling electronic components. So every day I'd have Post-it notes of a new joke. And I'm like, I got a whole collection of these jokes. I'm like, I got to get into comedy. So I started doing some open mics and then classes and then taking it more serious and taking it to the next level. And now I'm a producer of a comedy show called the Broken Down Boomers Comedy Show. Before I did that, I ran a separate open mic called Cans for Comedy, where people would bring in cans and clothing for homeless, helping homeless, and it was a win-win.
Yeah.
So the club would make money with people buying booze and food. The homeless shelter would get free food and clothing, and the comics got to work on their open mic and work on their material. So that was a success.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that concept, man. I love hearing when people talk about giving back to their local community and, you know, supporting small businesses or local businesses. That's cool.
Yeah.
I do want to spend some time talking to you about your show and stuff, but you mentioned the open mics, and it's one of the topic of conversations that I always like to bring up on this show, particular, because you hear both sides of the coin when it comes to open mics. What are your thoughts and feelings? Obviously, you ran one, so I can only assume what your thoughts and feelings are. But with the open mics, what are your thoughts and feelings? And should new and upcoming comics, should they be out there at these open mics?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. They should get up on stage as much as possible, but equally, they should rehearse at home the jokes they have and get to the point where, like, some comics will walk up on stage with either their set list of jokes or actual written out jokes on their cell phone and just try to remember what jokes are. And that's not the way to go. You've got to train yourself to not need that. So the open mics are great. And I've always told people, if you really want to get serious about getting some gigs, you're not going to get gigs booked if a club owner sees you looking at notes and stuff on your phone or whatever. You gotta get tight. You gotta memorize. You gotta work. It's a lot of memorizing at home. You gotta tweak every single word and every joke. You gotta make sure you try to find the most succinct and perfect way to deliver each line, each joke. And even to this day, I'll take a joke that I've got and I'll look at it and reanalyze it and go, well, this could be better if I just reworded it this way. So, like, I'm always editing my bits.
I think with comedy, I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's again, not being a comedian, just being a fan, but I think it's it's an easy thing to do. I mean, you might do one show one night and then the following weekend tell the same joke, but you've edited it a different way because it didn't land right, when you did it before, or you need, like you said, you want to tighten it up a little bit. I think with comedy, it's one of those things where you can, from show to show, kind of play with your jokes and tweak them a little bit as needed, And
I've discussed this with other comics, and I'd had a comic go, I don't plan anything. I just go up there and talk, and I'm like, all right, that's not going to go anywhere. And they'd get up there and prove me right, And then other comics will get up there and go, I'm going to do a good job. I'm going to focus on my bits. I'll see them. They got stacks of notebooks that they're working on. All their bits are written down, and like those are the ones that actually get more success. And so, yeah, that's the way it goes in comedy world. You just can't wing it. I mean, George Carlin is a perfect example of detailing every word, every bit, every line. Even he practices his facial expressions and his mood and his arms. Everything he did was up here first, and that's what made him great. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that with comedy is, like, and you mentioned it, nobody wants to see a comedian go up there with their phone and they got a microphone and they got their phone. I mean, if you're at an open mic, it's one thing, but I don't want to go to a comedy club and be like, oh yeah, so Yeah, I was out with my. Oh no, I don't like that one. Hold on, you know,
Yeah, but
like scrolling and trying.
there's a caveat to that though. Professional comics that go to an open mic, they're there to work on new material.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll bring a notebook out or something like that, which is okay because it's brand new stuff. They're working on it. It's a workshop for them to
Mm-hmm.
get to the point where they can take it home and go, okay, I see where I did this and did this right and did this could be better. So that's the caveat. If you're a professional and you're really already there, you're getting gigs, you're working, you got everything happening for you. You want to get new material. You don't want to take that to one of your comedy shows because you don't know exactly how it's going to work. So they take it to an open mic, and if they bring a notebook, then that's cool because it's different, you know. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to get something new out there, brand new. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm personally, I am a fan of the open mics. I think it's great to, get to see new comedians that are like, do I have what it takes? Older comedian, not old, but comedians that have been around for a while that are just fine tuning things. But it's really cool because you go see a guy, or you go to an open mic and you see a guy there, two, three, four times, and then a year down the road you go to like a comedy show at a comedy club or something, and he's opening, and
yeah,
you're like, I remember that guy when he was fumbling and fiddle fucking around on the stage, thumbing through his notes, stuttering and stammering, didn't know what to do with the mic, didn't know what to do with himself, and then he's up on stage and he's like locked in, and it's like that's cool to see,
yeah.
that journey and that growth.
The list of comics I saved from when I was running an open mic at Coconuts. I'm looking back at some of the people, and they're working all across the country now. And yeah, it's nice to see that they went from that situation, local comic working on open mic, and now they're traveling around everywhere, doing cruise ships and everything like that. Like the Carnival and stuff like that. So I'm happy
Uh,
for them.
yeah, that's cool. That's one of the cool things about this. Doing this particular style of show, and I do a music show that's kind of set up the same way. You get to kind of watch the people on their journey. Do you get to have a small part in their journey and become a part of it and watch them grow and watch them expand or, whatever. And it's really cool to see that growth and that, adapting and becoming a stage performer. Because ultimately, whether it's music or comedy, and because you've done both, you're on stage and that spotlight's on you and everybody's looking.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for you getting on stage for the first time, and I guess that would be in your music career, but even comedy, when you first started doing comedy, did you have any like stage fright or anything like that? And how did you get over that?
Well, I got over it by preparing myself before I got on stage. So even if I got lost on what I was supposed to say next for my next bit, I would just settle in and just click into the next joke or the joke after that. I could forget a joke and like beat myself in the head inside because I skipped that joke. But I know if the audience doesn't know that, that I missed a joke, unless it's a callback or something. But you just got to be very confident in your material and in your persona, whether it's deadpan or whether you're high energy or anywhere in between. So I'm kind of like sometimes I do deadpan, sometimes I do a lot of one-liners in my bit in my show.
Okay, I was going to ask you,
but they tell a story. So it's kind of like a list of one-liners, but they all mesh together to tell a story. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always ask, comedians, are they storyteller, one-liners, how are they banging jokes out one after another? But yeah, I think you're the first one that said that, they're one-liners, but it's more to it. It's a story. Just, like I said, sometimes you got to buckle in and go for the ride.
It stays in focus of where I am in the start of the story. I learned that from watching Larry the Cable Guy. It seems like he's got a whole list of one-liners, but they tell a story. And I really appreciate that kind of vibe. So I worked on it that way. And I said, here's 3 jokes, all with the same kind of similar premise or where I could fit them together in a story. Or here's 4. And then here's 5. And the next thing I know, I've got a 5-minute set for that and a 5-minute set for a different group of ideas. And it's fun of building that at home, to create. I also write screenplays too.
Yeah. you really are like a entertainment Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I've got my 3rd one I'm working on now. I've got a sitcom pilot written. The log line is: a notorious mob hitman wakes up in the hospital with amnesia and must perform anonymous charitable acts for a New Jersey death angel to redeem his past, and it's called Forget About It.
Nice.
And each episode, he has to perform a task without anybody knowing, because he's supposed to be this tough, mean, badass hitman, but he has to do nice things under the table. And each time he does a task for each show, the death angel has to do the tedious job of adding more time to his life and taking it away from someone else. And it's usually another mobster. So it's a yin yang kind of thing. So
yeah. No, I dig it. It sounds cool.
It's also who done it too, because when he gets up out of the hospital, he's got a bullet wound, stab wounds, and a concussion. So out throughout the whole series, it reveals who these people were in the past that did it to him.
Wow.
Attempted to kill him. So yeah.
I'm already now. I'm curious now. Like that could be really cool. That could be one of those shows that if it was to be picked up, it could suck you in unexpectedly and go, okay, now I'm here.
And the characters I wrote are all just wild and insane in their own way. So, and the way they interact with each other is just nuts. It's fun. So.
Nice. No, I dig that. I think that's really cool. It's funny you have a guest come on for one subject. That's why I said this is wherever we go on this journey. We get to find out so much more about you, and I think that's cool. I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going.
I'll send you the script via email so you can check it out. Forget about it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I'm no expert or professional, but I can definitely give you my opinion on it. I'll definitely check it out. It sounds cool. It sounds like something that, like I said, it's funny. The most random shows and movies will suck me in. I'm like, I'm just going to throw this movie on and probably fall asleep. And then the next thing I know, 2.5 hours later, I'm going, why am I still awake? This was a great movie. It's like, I'm just going to put this on for background noise while I clean the house. And then they get about 15 minutes in and I'm locked in on the couch and the house is not getting cleaned.
Yeah, I entered it in the Austin Film Festival's script writing contest. And out of 7,600 scripts, it made it in the top 15% of their favorite scripts. So
that's awesome.
Pretty happy about it. But yeah, moving on. Just like I got other sci-fi stuff I'm writing now too. They're not comedy.
Yeah,
it's more dark, very dark stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything has to be comedy. I had a gentleman on a while back, and he does comics, and his comics are very dark, very edgy, and deal with some crazy topics, which is weird. You see that side of him. Excuse me. After having him on here, and we were laughing and joking and having a good time, and we talked about his comics, and then you go check it out, and it's just like, wow,
I gotta check that out.
They say about comedians. They're a little dark and twisted, maybe a little demented.
They are. I know a lot of them that are like myself too. Now I'm at the point where I decided, well, I'm a baby boomer, just on the edge. So I decided to put the Broken Down Boomers comedy show together. And for the last 2 years, we've been selling out a lot of shows, and we're traveling all across the state. I've got comics booked for other states all across the country. If I get a request to book somewhere in LA, I've got LA comics. And so I'm all prepared for that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because that's why I asked you at the beginning of the show how old you were, because I didn't think that you were quite that old. You don't come across that old. You don't look that old by no means. And I know that everything is Broken Down Boomer, and I'm like, is he a boomer? So let's talk a little bit about this show that you got going on, and what with comedians and what you guys do with it.
Well, the local comics I got, one is Jay Hewlett. He's actually from LA, but he flies in and does shows in Florida. And I've got Spike Salzer. We've got Tom Wise. We've got Dan Silver. And in Ohio, I've got Dennis Piper ready to do shows up in Cincinnati area. And in LA, I've got the Unknown Comic, Susan Sager, Richard Weiss, and Donna Main. So I'm looking forward to doing more shows in the LA area. Yeah. And we've got our own theme music. It's a rock and roll kind of like typical 70s kind of power rock, not like metal, but it's a funny it's a quick, funny ditty, and we have a 6-minute pre-show medley of artists from the 60s and 70s singing their songs, but it's all about the Broken Down Boomers. It's a medley, so it's got an 8-track player. It starts off with someone going, "Hey man, get your hands off my 8-track player." Then you hear it click, and then you hear the different songs, and it comes with a video, a pre-show video people can watch on a big screen projector. And then the show starts, and then I get out there and MC it, and then I'll bring up the comics, and I'll usually either close or do the second person before the close. Mm-hmm. And we have our own Boomer Cam, which is a Polaroid camera. We take pictures of the audience with the comedians and snap it and give it to them. We have stickers and shirts for sale with our logo, our Broken Down Boomers logo. It's a VW van, like the 70s kind. We're all broken down with the steam coming out and the tires flat out at a beachside restaurant. So that's our vibe, and we use that for our marketing brand. And at the end of the show, we have a post-show rap session. So during the show, people will text us their favorite memories from the 60s and 70s, and then I'll read them back to the audience, like as an encore with the other comics on stage. So people will talk about their getting back from Vietnam, or they'll talk about, in their texts about riding their bicycles that are banana bikes with the handlebars, or they'll talk about going to Woodstock, things like that. So, and we'll share those back with the audience, and we'll say who sent this one up, and they'll raise their hand, and then I'll give them a sticker or do a Boomer Cam. And at the end of the show, I offer this book for sale, which I'm the author of. It's called "You Might Be a Boomer If." So it's fully illustrated with lots of different funky pictures by Odessa Doolittle, who's an amazing artist. So, like, you might be a boomer if you think a terabyte comes from alligators. You might be a boomer if you hear people talking about AI and you ask, "Who's I?" You might be a boomer if you hear someone ask at your high school reunion, "Where's everybody?" So things like that. It's a really good book. It's categorized by health and media marketing and now versus then and things like that. So I love this book. It's great. It really bridges a gap between different generations too. So a new different generation, Gen Z, Gen X, they can read that book and really find that connection that got lost from their grandparents or their parents. And it has a lot of things from the past, like you might be a boomer if you lost your virginity at a drive-in. So, so it's full of that. It's not really dad jokes, but it's more like nostalgia. So it's you might be a boomer if amusing memories, timeless laughs, and classic quirks from the good old days. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no. I like that.
Let me see what I've got another one for you. You might be a boomer if you get a cramp from a sneeze. And a lot of boomers are agreeing with me now.
You keep saying all these things, and I'm like, maybe I'm a boomer, and I didn't know it.
You might be a boomer if you've ever taken your car to the shop to have them install an 8-track player. So that's what I've got going on. In addition to my song parodies that I perform live on stage as a closer, I've got a song I recorded, and it's on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify. It's called Old Town Road. It's a parody of Old Town Road. It's called Old Folks Home. So people really get into that ending of my show because they relate to that too. Yeah, there's a logo there.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I like that.
Old Folks Home is a lot of fun. It's a fun song. People really get into that at the end of the show. Yeah. Yeah,
you sent it to me, and since you brought it up, we can go ahead and play it real quick, and cool. Let the listening audience and get a listen. Let me see here again. Push some buttons here. There we go.
I don't have my hearing aid on. I'm gonna take myself to an old folks home. I'm gonna buy my time some more. I'm gonna take myself to an old folks home. I'm gonna buy my time some more. Black socks, sandals, arthritis, rock star. Spend a little money, VFW, local bar. My buddy's got a walker and he's lost in the wrong hole. Early bird special and my mama wants to take it all. I got ear hair and I will pass gas. If you don't like it much, kiss my old wrinkled ass. I'm gonna take myself to an old folks home. I'm gonna buy my time some more. I'm gonna take myself to an old folks home. I'm gonna buy my time some more. Where's my pudding?
I like that. I can dig it.
I noticed you got a lot of comments on your thread. You got a lot of people chiming in. That's cool.
Yeah, got my boy Wally in the building. What up, Wally?
What up, Wally?
Got some dude over here hanging out. My girlfriend's over here watching. She says, "What's up?"
What up?
Popping in
to smash the like. Show some love and say, "What's up, damn degenerates?"
You might be a boomer if you're out canoeing, see a turtle peeking his head out of the water, and realize you have your turtle peeking. Jesus.
That's turtling, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. You might be a boomer. Yes, I like that.
Modog is definitely a boomer. Well, I don't know what he is. He was around when they signed the Bill of whatever, the Constitution. That's what I'm looking for. Bill.
Yeah. You know, I used to be a barber and I got fired because a woman walked in. I could tell she was like a hooker, and she said, "I don't have any money, but if and while you cut my hair, I'll give you fellatio." She's bald now.
Nice. Whoopsies. No, that's all. Do you have a lot of the parody songs that you do, or is it just a couple of them?
I've got well, I got one parody, and then the 6-minute medley are just like little clips of songs that are singing about the broken down boomers. It's kind of like a parody-ish, but it's all about them singing, like say the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Bee Gees, Casey and the Sunshine Band. There's a whole slew of them, but they're all in their own song singing about the broken down boomers.
Nice.
So I got that, and I've got 2 other comedy songs. Fellatio, Glick, don't you know big words? So I've got 2 other comedy songs. One is kind of like a parody. It's an homage to Ireland's most famous folk song, The Wild Rover, where I rewrote the lyrics and turned it into a rom-com instead of a guy coming back into his town and learning his ways. Instead, he flirts with the bar manager, and they end up hitting it off because the words are kind of like Benny Hill, where the words have double entendres and wordplay. So the whole thing gets onto. It has a nice ending. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a fun romp of that song. And I've got another song that's kind of weirdly dark called "Please Don't Cry," and it has a surprise ending, but it sounds like you're cutting up a human body in the song. That's what it sounds like. And toward the end of the song, it means something totally different. So, yeah.
I'm dark and twisted, and my mind instantly went, well, that sounds like a prison love song. Please don't cry.
Yeah. So I was doing that. I ran an open mic at Sam Ash Music regularly every week, and I did that song. And I'm singing the song, and there's this girl about maybe 12 years old. She got this big black frizzy hair, right? It's like just like this, like Gilda Radner from Rosanna. She looked like that, but a little girl. She's sitting in the front row, and I'm like, and I hacked and I chopped and I sliced and I diced, pieces of you hit the floor, and she's like bobbing her head, like, yeah, this is fun. I don't know if she's listening to the lyrics, but toward I got to the end where the punchline is, then her parents are like, oh, phew, it's not about that at all. So it was hilarious to watch this little kid just sitting there, and the story's getting darker and darker and darker, but she didn't care. It's hilarious.
Happy. It was a fun song in her head. She was having a good time. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
It won't be till years later when she has to go to therapy because of it.
It's so true. Yeah, I want to get that out there released soon too. But I've got a version of it, me playing live on my Ace Williams YouTube channel. So I've got some of my sets out there. I'll send you a link to that too, so you can enjoy it.
Yeah, I got the links. I am following you. I hope I'm following the right YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
then we got the Broken Down Boomers YouTube channel too. That's just strictly for the show. So we got lots of commercials. I produce a lot of commercials for every show we've done, so I can promote them all over social media. And I have sets of us performing live in the commercials. Like each one tells a different joke, and so it's a lot of fun making commercials.
Shut up, Modog. Glick stashes his cut up human bodies in the woods, so the rest of his Sasquatchian family has something to eat.
Hey, gotta provide for your family, right?
Yeah. I am apparently, which I'm fine. I've completely 100% owned it. That I am a Sasquatch. All right, whatever. Cool. Glick Squatch in the building. I've definitely ran with it.
Well, you ran pretty far east from Washington, didn't you? That was a long walk, wasn't
it? We actually had quite the large Bigfoot sightings in Ohio. right up there. Yeah, we've got multiple places that are Bigfoot country down here. Mainly right here in Nurk, where I'm at, is apparently Bigfoot
Nice.
country because you got one that roams around all the time. But yeah, no, there's, yeah, a lot of the Bigfoot shows and stuff like that. They film out here down southern Ohio-ish. I guess what
Glick.
eastern Ohio. They've had a lot of
Glick.
Bigfoot sightings on there.
Glick, are you sure you ain't sleepwalking?
Yeah, I could be. We got Bigfoots around here too. Ohio's got to, yeah, we've got the grassman, but yeah, man, it's Bigfoot country here, and apparently I'm one of the ones that have come out of the forest.
You're a Sasquatch who came out of the forest.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It's 2026. It's all love, baby.
It's about time, yeah.
Yeah. While we're talking about the Broken Down Boomers, you said you got a YouTube channel for it. Do you have any other social media dedicated just to that, or is it all through social media?
We got an Instagram channel for the Broken Down Boomers. We got a Facebook page for the Broken Down Boomers. I've got what's the other one? TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. We'll throw out some ads on TikTok when we get a chance. I've got a whole lot more promotions to do for the October 10th gig. I usually send press releases out to every TV, radio, newspaper, and then about 20 different social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, on my page, on Ace Williams' Facebook page too. So it takes me a good 2 to 3 days for my promotions to do all that because it's a lot of work on promoting. There's websites you got to go to and upload your information on this news site, this channel for TV channel calendar events, and you got another one for creative loafing and many, many, many others. So yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
I will make sure. I go through and follow all your the Broken Down Boomers. That way, with the social media stuff I put up, not only did I tag you in it, but I also want to tag that so people can find it super easy. But you are pretty easy to find on social media, Ace Williams and or Broken Down Boomers. So we want to make sure you guys can find everybody, and then I'll tag you. I can go through and edit my post and tag the Broken Down Boomers and stuff like that as well, and I'll make sure I do that as I hate social media, but
I've got two ultimate goals. One, to record a special with a camera crew if like at a theater. We've done theaters, and make that into a special I can market to Netflix or any Comedy Central, something like that, where we're showing a genre of senior comics that tell their own style, but it's all about being old, or being that age. So I think
concept. Yeah. I like the concept. I think it'll be really cool, and it's something that's not been done that I know of.
Yeah. And my other goal is maybe get us a regular room in Branson or Vegas where I can bring in comics from all over the United States to do the shows. And, if it gets old, we'll mix in somebody else and take someone out and then keep the comedy fresh with different comics throughout the run, like say a 6-month run or something.
I would personally like to see you be able to do a show up here in Ohio.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Bananas, I got my eye on Bananas in Cincinnati. It'll be hopefully get something going with them. And there's a big audience, especially in Florida. There's so many retirement communities that have their own theaters, like the Margaritavilles, the Villages. Yeah. So they're booking shows already, and I've got some lined up for the fall up in Flagler already. So we've got 2 more shows coming up in no, it wasn't Flagler. Sorry, it's I misspoke. It's St. Augustine. We just did a show up there a couple weeks ago, and they want us back in the fall. And there's a retirement community with their own room, and they want us there for the next day. So we're gonna have a double header next time we go up there. So, but we're starting small. These are comedy clubs. We've done a Christy B's comedy club. We've done her other room in Flagler, and we've done shows all across the west coast of Florida, sold out shows. So, it's something I love. I love producing shows, and I love the work behind the scenes, and I like to get on stage and do my stuff too. So yeah, got my hopes up.
Well, mind your business. You just mag. I do know all about TikTok. Shut up. I'm a big deal on
bananas.
TikTok. Yeah, a little something about those two, usually in the form of banana hammocks, but it's whatever.
Banana hammocks, yeah.
It was one.
I wouldn't know about that. I got a bit I'm working out where I got a new bit I'm working where I play a Australian TV cooking show host where I don an Australian accent, and it's called Chef in a Speedo. So I have an apron on stage and just the Speedo behind me. So I do this bit, but I start turning around looking for pots and pans, and I flash this little Speedo that's got a kangaroo on my butt with Australia on it. So, it's more of a sight gag kind of bit, but it works. But I do the Australian accent really good, and it's funny. So that's something I do on the side. That's like for the Ace Williams bits. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unexpected surprise. Ace in a Speedo and apron.
Chef in a Speedo.
Sounds like a calendar out here right there.
It's silly, but it's funny. My wife was like, at first she's like thinking, I don't know, and then I did the bit for her, and she busted up, said, "This is a funny, amazing. I love it." So, Yeah.
Nice. Now, speaking of your wife, do you run a lot of things by her? Is she helpful, and does she give you? I mean, I'm assuming an honest critique on things.
She does. She's got an honest critique, especially when I tell jokes about her on stage. I've got quite a bit of material about my wife, so she's okay with it because she knows it's not like, it's all contrived. So she's cool with it. I can tell jokes about her bringing a big bowl of chocolate mousse in the bed to explore in the bed with a big bowl of chocolate mousse on a plastic sheet. And I said, I don't know, I found that a little off-putting. So, pudding. So, things like that. And, but then I tell jokes about her. She just became a mall walker, walking around the mall to lose weight, And so far, she's lost 5 pounds and put $1,000 on her credit card. So I figure if she loses another 25 pounds, I'm going to be flat broke.
Yeah, you better start booking some more shows.
I get it. Someone said I got material about my ex-wife. If I tell enough jokes, I'll be divorced. So, yeah, we've been married, 38 years. Crazy, huh?
Oh, wow. So she's used to it. She's used to it.
Oh, yeah, she's used to me in spades. Yeah. Yeah, she's great.
I think it takes a lot, when you're in a relationship with somebody that does, entertainment, like as a living or a hobby or whatever the case may be. You want that support from your partner, but they also have to understand that, sometimes you're a little bit crazy with it. My poor girlfriend.
Yeah,
I don't know how does it.
I goof on my whole family. Like, I think my mom is losing it. I went to her house the other day, and she said, "Son, check out my new skin lotion. It's from France, and it's called Ducan Hinaise. It's got coconut and vanilla." I said, "Mom, let me see that tube." "Mom, this is cake frosting." Duncan Hines, come on.
Yeah.
And my father was a fisherman out in the Gulf, and tragically he passed from a tragic motorboat accident, and his last words were so,
You got to be able to. Oh,
the other day I was on the beach and sitting in a lounge chair in a Speedo with a joint in one hand and a pair of binoculars, checking out the hotties in the other, and I realized I'm turning into my father.
This doesn't seem like such a bad life. I'm just saying. Nice. So I got kind of an idea. Is your comedy lean more? Do you tiptoe that clean line where you can do your show almost anywhere, but
Yeah, I've got a ton of clean material I can rely on if they want absolute, TV clean.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not mainly my style. My style is on that edge. I told my wife I was feeling stressed from seeing the psychiatrist, and she offered me a powerful gummy. And I said, "What about the possible side effects?" And she said, "Side effects? I was just going to go down on you and take my teeth out."
Like a win. What's going on, Billy? I dig it. So I got to ask you now that I've got a Tampa, a Bay Area comedian on here. I am very familiar with Tampa, the area. It's kind of like a second home to me.
Nice.
Got lots of friends and stuff down there. And I still listen to Florida radio every day. I listen to The Bone every morning, all day long, actually. So I feel like Tampa's more. I know more about Tampa than I know my own area based off of that.
So you probably listen to Johnny B and those guys and Maurice Jovan. They're funny. They're good guys.
Yeah, I've been listening to Calta now for Jesus Christ, has it really been that long? About 16 years. 17 years.
The Bone.
I've really been listening to The Bone for about that long. Actually, Mo, a cat named Mo, I'm familiar with him. He used to be on the radio up here in Columbus. He had a morning show up here in Columbus way back in the day, way back in my early 20s. So it was nice when I started listening to the Bone to hear his voice again. But in the last several years, Tampa has kind of become the new hotspot for comedy. You've always had New York and LA, but it seems like it's really coming up in the comedy scene.
Side Splitters is coming out with a new location in St. Pete Beach, so they're going to be competing with 2 other comedy clubs out there. So I think that's good.
Yeah. So I mean, for you being a comedian down there, and you've been doing it for a while now, have you seen that, where Tampa's kind of becoming a big deal in the comedy world?
Well, I don't know if the rest of the United States knows it, but here in Tampa, it's growing. And I got to tell you, Orlando's growing too. They got more people and more people producing shows and new clubs popping up. So I'm happy about Orlando too. I think they've got a lot going too, especially because they're more in a localized tour, the biggest tourist destination in the world, Orlando.
Oh yeah, everybody's going down there for Disney and all that, and Universals and all that. So, I mean, a lot of there's a lot of big names that are rolling through the area. There's a lot of guys who are coming up from the Tampa area. I know. One guy, Cam Bertrand, he kind of came out of nowhere and blew up pretty big. I like to say I knew him before.
I knew Cam back in the day, and Q Green, and there's other ones, Ron Hortman. He's very successful. Rio Paris, another guy who's actually taken off. He's gotten a lot of support from more senior comics, so he does a lot of cruise ships. So I'm happy for all those guys, and I'm just trying to make my own niche in my own way. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's as long as I can keep it rolling, I'll be happy.
Yes,
And
it sounds like you're definitely staying busy and not getting the shows rolling. And like I said, the concept behind Broken Down Boomers, like I said, it's not something that I don't want to say it's never been done before. It's not, but that I'm not 100% sure. But it's definitely a concept that I don't think I've ever heard of.
well, I have a total faith in it. I trademarked the name, and so it's mine, So, and I worked very hard with the website development too. I put the website together. I had a setback, which is why we haven't been doing any shows in the last plan. Any shows. I was in a hospital just 2 weeks ago with emergency surgery, and I'm still recovering. You don't know, but I got this hole in my back about that big. That's an open wound that's still healing. So I'm going through a lot of treatments for that, and it's been setting me back because when I was in the hospital, it was like I couldn't do anything, and still I have to recover this before I can do anything serious. I got to get wound treatments every day, and to change everything, and it's a lot of work. But my endocrinologist in the hospital said my A1C was WTF. It was off the charts, so yeah, I got work to do. So, but that'll pass. I got 2 more months to recover.
Nice. Well, sounds like you're doing better and you're doing good, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive, actually.
Yeah, no, minus the giant hole in your back, but I mean, everything sounds like it's going. Yeah. Billy said, "Man, that sucks. Hope it gets better."
Yeah, it's in the shape of a football, so like, it's almost like a candy dish, but that's kind of gross.
Hey, I mean, if you're a football fan and it heals up, scars like a football, you can go get a tattoo. If you're a Bucks fan or Bulls or whoever you
I get a skin graft and have them put a little laces on it,
Yeah, right. Laces and a little logo there on it for you.
Well, that's one way to look positive about things. You just gotta see the silly and funny and everything, no matter how tragic.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not a hole; it's a PO box," said Billy.
It's a PO box. I get my mail delivered there. Postcards usually, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. No, man. In all seriousness, glad you're doing good and everything is hopefully healing up all right. And
Either that or wait till October and dress up as a zombie and just leave it wide open.
There you go. Be careful. You are in Florida. Be careful.
Yeah. I was at an event last week, and the guy, they didn't know, right? And somebody walked right up to me and patted me right on the back, right where it was, and I thought I was going to faint. I mean, it was just threw me into a pain zone I couldn't take. I just had to stop everything. He didn't know. Are you okay? I'm like, dude, you just did the worst thing possible. But we laughed about it yesterday.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, man, it would have been better if you just walked up and kicked me in the dick, rather than do that.
I would have preferred that, actually.
Right. Have a good one, Mo Dog. Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome. What a nickname. I love it.
Yeah, he's our resident crown eater. Former Marine. Well, Marine. Sorry, not former. Sorry, Mo Dog.
Nice. Marines are cool.
I
got an impression for him, a couple impressions for Marines. A Marine vet having an orgasm. Hoorah! an Army vet having an orgasm. Hooah! And Navy vet having an orgasm. Seaman. Okay.
Oh man, Mo Dog appreciates that.
Cool. Hoorah.
It's pretty accurate. I think we can say it's pretty
Every time
accurate.
he hears hoorah from now on, he's going to think of that joke.
Well, on the point, or every time he orgasms, he's going to think about you, and I don't know.
Ah, hoorah. Oh, no. He'll think about basic training.
Well, he said, like the Navy guys say, it ain't queer if it happens off the pier.
That's a good one.
See you later, Mo Dog.
I got one more. A Coast Guard spotting a hooker on the pier. Land ho!
That's awesome. Oh, our vets.
Yeah, you got to have some jokes for them. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you got to, because I think most of them, to a certain degree, I think most of them appreciate it. You know, they all make the same. They probably all, they are all out there busting each other's balls.
Yeah, that's true.
So, being a boomer. Now, this is something I enjoy this topic, but being a boomer, the social media aspect of things, it seems like you've got it locked in and locked down. What's your feelings on it? I have a love-hate with social media. I actually, it's all hate, to be honest with you. But it's a necessary. I hate it.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah. You got to feed the algorithm monster. Do you find it difficult to deal with social media and to be doing all the different aspects of it, or do you want to deal with it?
I enjoy a lot of it, and some of it can be frustrating. Like, well, you got to put your password in, then you got to put in your cell phone code, then you got to do this just to get started. I mean, it slows things down, and I know they want security and all that, but when you got to do that over and over and over again for different accounts that you got, it gets kind of tedious. I think if I don't participate in social media, then the world doesn't have something that I create that's my own, that's a positive thing on life. I mean, my jokes and my show tries to look at being a baby boomer in a positive way, even though you talk about health and and the tough times that you have in a joking way. It's something that baby boomers can bond together with, and it creates something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So without putting it out there on social media, the audience doesn't have a chance of understanding and connecting as well without it. So I know how important that is. And if I'm not there on social media, there's less good things, and there's more things that people be doom scrolling about instead. And I just want to be a foil to all the doom scrolling opportunities people have. I want to see someone come across and go, oh, this is going to brighten my day. This is going to make me happy. Make me laugh, maybe chuckle a little bit before I go back to doom scrolling, So I think it's a privilege for me to get out there and set it out there on social media. It's not just a means and a way for me to be more successful. It's something I want people to enjoy and go, wow, this is different, and I like it. So
yeah, a little escape from reality. That was kind of my mindset with creating all these different shows and the original show, because the world is crazy as hell, and it's going, like it's one piece of bullshit after another, and it's like, the whole idea for platform was to create an escape for people to be able to get away from all that for a little bit and forget
That's what I
about
do.
and finances and politics and relationship
Yeah.
problems. Just come and see some,
And bills.
yeah, some goofy ass Sasquatch looking dude hang out with people and shoot the shit and be like, maybe life isn't so bad. I could be that guy.
Well, that's a different way to look at it, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to bring some joy to the world, honestly, and if I can get the special cooking, I'll be happy as hell. So, and if I can get a bigger show where we're doing a venue regularly in Branson or Vegas or something, that's going to be amazing. And if I can get the show national and get the other comics on the West Coast and LA involved, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled. And that's my goals. Now, once I'm out of now that I'm out of the hospital, I can get back to work on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to have that kind of a revolving door of comedians, no show's going to be the same, and that's a cool concept in itself there too, because it's hard enough to get people through the door as it is.
Yeah.
But to know that there's potentially, like, you could have a new lineup or a couple new comedians in the lineup, people are going to be, like I call our chatters box and our normal group of people that's here are repeat offenders who come back again and again, because it may not be the same show every time. And
my last show is a perfect example of that. I brought in a comedian magician who does comedy magic. Every illusion is loaded with lots of funny jokes, and his name's Bob Clace, and he killed. He did great. He brought an audience member whose birthday it was, and put a quite a zinger on her. It was absolutely amazing. The audience just loved him. So yeah, it's good to mix up some people. I had another one, Rick Scott. He's an up and coming comic, and he opened for the show, and he did his own brand of humor. So I'm looking forward to bringing the LA team to some shows. But we got Jay Hewlett. He's an amazing comic. He travels from the West Coast to Florida regularly. He travels all across the country, busy every weekend, and we're lucky to have him. He has a great closer, and he's hilarious. His show is perfect for the Broken Down Boomers. His whole set is back in my day and that kind of thing. So I love him. He's great, and always glad to have him close the show. Yeah, Jay Hewlett. It's funny.
I've heard that name before. I've heard his name. I don't know if I'm familiar with his comic, but I know I've heard his name.
Yeah, I used to open for him 15 years ago at Coconut. So I used to headline there all the time, and I just love the guy. He's freaking hilarious.
Well, I mean, and it sounds like over the years, and it sounds like you've built quite the community, with comedians and stuff like that, which is another, great, because you always hear the horror stories in the entertainment industry of, backstabbing and, I'll push you in front of a bus if I can get this show over you. But it sounds like you've built quite an amazing community over the years. I'm sure you've had some bumps in the road, but
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way: there's always competition. Everybody's trying to get gigs, and everybody's trying to get in the rooms. But since I'm producing the shows and trying to get out there to theaters and bigger venues, other comedy clubs, I look at it this way: a rising tide floats all boats. Mm-hmm. So I want to bring people up around me, as well as I do want to do my show and do my 15 minutes of fame. I do about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. But if I really pushed it, I mean, I got 4 hours of material easy in the back pocket, but I stick with the stuff that fits my theme and my material. I've got a bit where I do my cousin who's the dumbest redneck in the world, my cousin Robbie, and I literally break into character where I put a hat on or take my shirt off, and I'm got this cow manure shirt on, and and I do this. I do a country accent, and I go on and on just another 15 minutes doing Robbie the Redneck. So that's a bit I do. It's ridiculous because the stuff he says is the dumbest shit in the world. And it's funny.
Ridiculous shit is the most entertaining, though.
I love getting to the punchline where he's in the Publix parking lot, supermarket, and I'll just deliver it a little bit. It says, "So I was out there at Publix. I was walking out to my vehicle, and there's this lady tapping her foot. Some manager. She's out there standing there, and she goes, 'Excuse me.' I said, 'Yeah.' And she says, 'Is that your vehicle right there?' I said, 'Well, yeah.' So she says, 'Well, can't you read the sign? The sign right there?' I said, 'Yeah.' So she says, 'Well, that sign right there says pick up only, pick up only.' She shouted at me. I'm like, 'So you see my vehicle right there?' She said, 'Yeah.' So I'm like, 'Well, that there is a 1995 Ford F-150, and if that ain't a pickup, I don't know what the hell is.'"
That's awesome.
It gets a little dirtier too. I mean, like, I don't want to go, too much on that, but yeah, it gets crazy.
You guys got to go out to the show to meet his redneck cousin.
Yeah, it's fun to doing that bit, doing that act, and changing my whole persona with the clothes and that I throw on, and God, that's crazy.
It's fun sometimes to play a character. You can go up and do your stand-up routine, but then sometimes it's fun to, like you said with the Australian chef, and now your cousin. It's fun to be somebody else for a few minutes.
Yeah, and I do a lot of cartoon voices, so I got this other bit. I don't want to go into the details, but it's kind of raunchy. Of all these cartoon characters, so I do a ton of voices in that. So that's pretty funny.
Have you ever done any like voiceover work or anything like that outside of your own projects? Or
yeah, last year I spent months in the studio doing voiceover work for what do you call one of them, computer games that people play.
Oh, yeah,
I'm doing character voices, and I did other voices for AI training, and so yeah, I do all kinds of different. I had voiceover classes in the past, so I use that training to do different timbres of voice from high to low, and different accents, and so I did this character in a voiceover for like the Asgard kind of lore,
yeah,
from like Thor, and so I played a part called the technician or something like that. Anyway, he had like this role where I'm playing one of the gods or something in that lore.
Oh wow!
So it was fun.
That's cool. We just keep opening more doors of what you do as the more we talk.
That took quite a lot of time. I was just in there, and then they'd have me back in 2 days, and then they just give you this video screen of all these lines, and they don't even give you time to study it. They don't give you time to know what the other characters are saying unless you read really fast and try to get the gist. But that tells you what flavor of the voice you want, whether you're angry, mad, sad, happy on each one. And so I went through that, and there's a lot of interesting words from the Norse words that you had is that Svengardian or some other, trying to learn how to pronounce it correctly. So I would constantly look up a word and make sure I wasn't mispronouncing it and giving it justice. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, you definitely, because there's people out there that's going to catch it if you mispronounce it, and they're going to be like, "Oh no, what is it?" The internet.
Exactly. So yeah, I was very diligent about that. Even if we lost a couple of seconds or minutes, we look it up and make sure it was right. So, but all the voices, it's fun to go really dark voice or something like that and gritty, and or you could just do something clean and you play a judge or something else or a coach. That was fun.
Oh wow. That's like I said. I feel like we just keep stumbling around and opening more doors of. You got more tricks under your hat, of what you do and things that you've done in the entertainment world. So I think that's really cool. I mean, it definitely. I mean, to have all that experience and knowledge, it's got to make the comedy a little bit easier for you and producing shows and whatnot. But with the music background and doing comedy, does writing come relatively and screenplays and stuff like that? Does writing is it just a natural thing that's super easy for you?
I find I get really creative right when I wake up. My brain was right out of the dream mode or REM sleep, and you have a dream, and then your mind is super creative still. So that's when I'll come up with some weird and funny ideas or concept for a joke, and then I'll write that down and then develop it later. But that's when I write the best, but I'm always writing every day. Like someday I'll just something will come to me. I have a friend of mine, I talked to on the phone. He used to be my lead guitar player for my first band I put together. It was rhythm and blues band, classic rock and blues. Great guitar player. But he's retired and he lives in assisted living right now. And I talk to him all the time. He's kind of like a muse because he tells the same jokes over and over and over again, like in Arrested Development. He tells the same 3 or 4 jokes and thinks that he hasn't never told it before. I'm like, dude, really? Come on, you just told me that yesterday.
When you live in assisted living, though, and some people have memory problems, those jokes you can tell them every day, and it's like the first time they heard it. It's great.
Yeah, he's famous, sir. He kills. But but somehow talking to him just helps my creative mind, and I'll just brainstorm just while talking to him, and I'll just oh, this is funny. And then I'll tell you the truth. One time we went on a half-day fishing boat trip out in the Gulf, and it started getting really rough, and we're laughing our asses off because when we talk and joke, we're so close friends. We're just always joking and laughing. Meanwhile, the entire boat, everybody that's not working on the boat, puked, throwing up. All of them, all 30 people, like one and then another 2. They're always leaning over the boat, puking their guts out. Meanwhile, me and my buddy are laughing our asses off about totally unrelated stuff, but the whole boat thought we were laughing at them because we're constantly laughing. It was hilarious.
So you got a couple of dicks over there laughing.
We were aware of that happening too, which made it even funnier.
Yeah.
They're all puking. They're all looking at me. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You're laughing at us, and no, and we never talked to them, but they had that attitude, we hate you.
Yeah. This is the worst day of our lives, and you 2 pricks are over here laughing.
we couldn't stop laughing about everything. Just looking back at our gigs and our shows that we've done together, and just some crazy stuff. We actually did this show where we're playing a place called Dracula's in St. Pete, and it's a Dracula themed bar, right? And it's like a dive bar, and there's 2 ladies on a dance floor. One is skinny as a rail, and the other one was not. And both of them pulled up their tops to flash the band, and the other one was flat chested, and the other one was huge, but not in a good way. And he's like, put it back on. So we'd be laughing about stuff like that on the boat, and and everybody hated us. So whatever.
They'll get over it. Well, I mean, you've been doing this for so long. I'm sure you got, and especially when you get together with old bandmates or friends, I'm sure you got stories for days.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, one of the one of the things we're always talking about here is knowing your room. Have you ever been in a situation where it's like you just comedy wise, it wasn't necessarily your fault. It was just the room was a bad room, and you kind of just ate absolute shit.
Every comic's gone through that. Every comic, they may not admit it, but everybody's got that one room where you do it, and they're just not in the mood to laugh, or they're not in the mood for your humor. They want something like a totally different style of comedy. I think I've been there a couple times. The worst gig I ever did, this is funny though, I got booked to do this strip club in the afternoon.
Oh no!
Where nobody's there except for two dancers, a mother and a daughter, who were both dancing. But there was three other comics, and I had to go up first. And there were 6 guys there for their bachelor party in the afternoon, and they all got their
bachelor party.
They all got their flannel shirts on, like cut-off shirts. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and they're all day laborers and and construction worker guys, right? And they were not in the mood for comedy. They wanted to see a strip club show, and they were stuck with the 4 of us first. And I'm telling my jokes, my one-liners, and I'm trying to crack some jokes, and they're like, when is this going to end? You know, like, when is this going to end? And they weren't heckling me, but the other comics that got up after me just did worse than I did, so I didn't feel so bad. I said, that's trial by fire there, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to know whose idea was to book comedians at a strip club in the afternoon.
Right. That was the dumbest gig ever. I mean, it wasn't my show, but they just said, hey, come on and do the show. I'm like, I'm a new comic at that time, like my first shows. I'm like, okay. And like, I get there and I'm looking around and like, this does not bode well. This does not look good. This is not good at all, man. I thought, what are we doing here?
Yeah. You get one type of person that goes to a strip club, and it's not somebody who wants to go and hear jokes. You know, it's the last thing somebody wants to hear when they go to a strip club. They came there for one reason.
The only laughs we got out of it is looking back at it now. We can all laugh at it and go, yeah, that was the worst gig ever.
Yeah, sounds absolutely. But I mean, that's great to get, like, when you're, like you said, you were still kind of new, but I mean, it's great to land something like that when you're new, because then you can just kind of, that sucked, but you know, it's a learning experience.
Exactly, and the glares that they gave us all, like, like arms crossed. No one's gonna laugh with their arms crossed. I'm looking up and like, get off the stage. They're doing this.
Hurry up. Move along, buddy. Yeah. Joke. Yeah, go ahead.
Then I've had other shows. It's just the opposite. Got them in the palm of your hand and just every joke hits, and it's been fun. So, and that's because you work hard. You focus on getting your set right, and you deliver. It's all starting with me or every comic. It starts with here and here.
Yeah, so, I mean, ultimately, it's you come from the music world where you had a band behind you. You had people that you could kind of rely on. Like, oh shit, I just fumbled the words. That's all right. I got a sweet ass guitar player here that knows I just fumbled the words and does some sweet ass riff, or the drummer does some sick solo and recovers for you. When you're a comedian, you're up there and you're all by yourself.
Exactly.
You locked in. You brought up the guys heckling you. I'm sure in the last 15 years you've had your fill of hecklers. How do you deal with them?
I've been very lucky. I rarely get a heckler. One time I'm doing a show years ago, and I closed with this one bit where I'm doing the Monday Night Football auditions, where when Hank Williams Jr. got fired, for Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So I did this bit where all these other artists, I play guitar on stage, and I did all these songs from artists that are auditioning for the replacement spot. So I do Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, and I take their songs and I rewrite their lyrics about football, football theme, and Green Day and a whole bunch of others. I closed with what's his name? Goodness gracious, George Michael. And he's singing about how he's got a big crush on Tim Tebow. So, but so right before I got to that part, this guy looks up to me. He goes, he's in the front. He looks at me and says, "You're fucked up." I said, I said, "Thanks, I'll take that."
Fair enough.
I just turned a negative to a positive. He's just like, "You're fucked up, man. Like your jokes are so fucked up." So I just said, "Yeah, thanks." So yeah, I rarely get anybody, saying anything or coming out with any rude remarks, because I'm just doing one-liners after another.
Yeah.
And like last night, I took some X-Lax and some nitrous oxide, for shits and giggles. I laughed my ass off.
Sounds like a hell of a comedy. I like it. One of the other, and this seems to be kind of a new trending thing, and I always like to ask comedians this because I have my own opinions on it. But again, I'm not the one doing it. I'm not a comedian. The new trend of crowd work.
Okay.
I don't know if you do any, and if you don't, great. But what's your thoughts on that? Because to me, as an outsider, some do it really well, some do it fantastic, but then others, it seems like it's become more of a crutch, in an easy way to I don't know, kind of cheap laughs, in my opinion.
I gotta tell you that there is different schools of thought about that. And neither one of them is wrong. It's on how you approach doing crowd work. I have a friend of mine who's a comic. His name is Chris Gorges. He's a local guy. He's a working comic. His first 15 minutes is crowd work, and he never fails. He can just talk to anybody and come up with something. Maybe it's because he has some prepared bits about things, and they can fall back on that as a type of crowd work. There's kind of, I wouldn't call it cheating. I would call it being prepared. If you're ready to talk to anybody and say, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" and they say something that's in the common vein of work experience in life, they've got, well, I'm going to have this to say. Or if they say this, I'm going to have this to say. That might be his secret. I don't know. But he's really, really awesome at crowd work. I've booked him for 2 or 3 of my shows in the past. And I just look at him, and I just like, wow. One time he ragged on a couple having their 50th anniversary, and he's talking about, if the guy's gonna get lucky, and he's going into some, heavy explicit words about this old couple having sex and going doggy style or whatever, and so. And then he gets into his material, and he kills. But about crowd work, do I do it? As a host, doing crowd work is best when you're MCing, because you're warming up the crowd. Your job is to engage with the audience, ask if there's birthdays, if they're having a party, anniversary. You're getting in and you're talking with the crowd, and then you can get in some jokes or ad lib when you're asking them, "Hey, how old are you?" That kind of thing, or "What do you do? Where are you from?" Those kind of things. Crowd work isn't my best, but I don't do too bad. But I don't use it as, I wouldn't say I've never used it as a crutch. But I think it's an important thing as an MC more than any other feature than the headliner. Now, Jay Hewlett, the headliner that I know, he does crowd work. And he's great because he'll call out a group and label them. I got my stoners over here. I got my this guy who looks like Steven Seagal, and and then all throughout the act he's calling them back. I got the religious girls over. Let me hear you say amen, and then he'll like keep that as part of his show all throughout the like. Whenever there's a break, he'll just go back to that, like a callback, and that's
Nice.
brilliant. So his crowd work is special. So, but if you're just doing crowd work, you gotta be very quick on your feet. You got to be very creative on your feet. You got to think fast, and you got to be and make it look natural.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you feel like it's hurt comedy at all with it coming around so becoming so popular with crowds feeling like they have to be a part of the show or or anything like that?
Not really.
Like there are some comedians that don't do crowd work, but you get those people who show up and are like, I'm going to be part of the show, and it's like, no, sit down and shut up, dude.
every time you do crowd work, if you're not the MC, you run the risk of people interrupting your act because they think they've got that permission to engage instead of a monologue to be a dialogue. So like if every time you call on somebody, hey, what's your name? And the next thing you know, 5 minutes from now, that guy's going to chime into a joke and go, yeah, I get it. Or you could have said this, or, and then I've seen it backfire on some comics. By the time they get to another part of their act, this guy's chime in, he's drunk, and you tapped into the wrong guy because he's freaking drunk or the wrong lady.
You think he's the comedian. Now it's his show, but now everybody came to see him.
Or even worse, once you call on somebody, they'll think it's okay that they can talk to their buddies or their girlfriend or a girl talking to another girl, usually, where they'll just ignore the comedian and just talk amongst themselves and be loud enough to distract everybody.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's really tough. Then you guys say, shut the hell up, or something. Then you have to get them back in. Then you have to get them back into the act just to say, hey, listen, and then you got to throw out a anti-heckler joke or something, or tell them to keep it down. And then that just disrupts everything. So
yeah,
it's the MC's job to prevent that by starting off by saying, turn your phones on silent, do not talk during the show. And if the MC doesn't do their job good enough, when they get back up to bring on the next comic, it's their job to say it again. Listen, we've had some people talking during the show. It's totally frowned upon, and then call it out. And then hopefully the next comic don't have to suffer.
Yeah. So. Hopefully you can get it across. hopefully the people are understanding and you're not just talking to a wall. Before we start wrapping things up, I want to give you an opportunity, real quick again, to let everybody know where they can find you and find out all your comedy and all that. And we got you got the October show coming up, but anything else you got? Like this is you know how to promote. Do your thing.
Okay, so in Hudson, there's a place called the Circle S Barbecue. They're famous for their barbecue. Totally, I've had their brisket, and it's it's delicious, amazing. So we're at the Circle S October 10th, 7:00 show, and that's in Hudson, Florida. And I can give you the address if you want, but I don't know if people in Ohio want to come all the way down.
Well, people listen to us from all over the place.
It's 14630 US Highway 19 in Hudson. It's delicious food. They got a very excellent back patio with a big stage, lights, everything. So, and the owner is just a truly amazing, good guy. He's just a wonderful person, and he's looking forward to the comedy show. I think it's going to be his second comedy show. He usually books live bands there. And keep an eye out for us in St. Augustine again, coming up either October or November. We've got us an in for coming back to the Spotlight Theater. So, and all my promotions will be on the social media website, everything. So, yeah, I'm gonna be booking more gigs. It's just getting back on my feet after this setback.
Yeah, you gotta get your health right, most importantly, before anything else. And like I told you guys before, you can find Ace on social media at Ace Williams, and you've got the Broken Down Boomers as well on social media. And I've tagged Ace in everything that we have up, including YouTube. And I'm gonna do my due diligence and make sure I'm following the Broken Down Boomers and editing post and tagging that as well, to make it easy for our people to. So if you're following us like you should be, people, then you can find Ace. Yeah, you can find Ace super easy because there's posts up. I mean, there's like 3 of them just from today before the show even started.
Hey, I went to my urologist about my uncontrollable bladder. Boy, was he pissed.
I am not looking forward to getting old. Older, I should say.
Older. So, living large. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, Ace. I've had a great time. It was awesome to get to chat with you and get to know you. Anything we can do to help promote shows, please don't be a stranger. Feel free to. I want to. Where can everybody find the book at if they want to purchase themselves a copy?
Yeah, you can get it. I can send you a link. I think I sent you a link on the Facebook Messenger to get it. It's on Amazon, KDP. You can pick up this wonderful book. It will bring back tons of memory, make you laugh your ass off. It's called "You Might Be a Boomer If," and you can get it on Amazon where you buy books. And I'll see if I can get a link to you right this second.
Yeah, you can get. I'll put it up in our stories as well, so people can find it. I
sent you a link. Yeah, Amazon link on your Messenger. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'll shoot it up there and put it in our stories, and that way people can find it if they want to get a copy of it. Because just a few pages, just a few snippets you read out of it, it seems like a very entertaining book, and definitely, I'm not a boomer by no means, but some of the things as I get older, I can relate to it. There.
I've had a lot of good reviews on it, and people emailing me how much they like the book too. You can get a paperback version or an ebook. Ebooks are a little bit less expensive. Paperbacks like $19.99. Ebooks are like $5. So either way, you got yourself a good book.
Is this a project that you're going to continue to keep going, or is there going to be like a volume 2 or anything like that?
I've been collecting some more You Might Be a Boomer Ifs that I didn't put in here. I'll probably either revise this one to add more or make enough to create a separate book. You Might Be a Boomer If too. So I've got a whole list that I wish I put in this book, but now I got a chance to maybe do a new book. That'd be great.
Well, that would be awesome. Like I said, I'm going to check it out myself. And like I said, we'll get it. That was random, but we'll get it up in our stories so that our followers will have a chance to take a peek at it. And if they want to grab themselves a copy, they can get a copy as well. I think it's just fun. It's one of those things.
Incidentally, I am a Buckeye originally, so I do have that Midwest humor in my set and in my book. So. Nice. I think the Buckeyes will like it.
Yeah.
I'm originally from the Cincinnati area.
Okay. Nice. I'm sorry you're from the Cincinnati area, but
I know. They're still wearing turtleneck sweaters.
we joke around here that basically Florida and Ohio are the same, and that we're either the North Florida or they're South Ohio. We haven't quite decided yet, but I do know one thing. In the wintertime, we try to send all of our idiots to you guys.
Thank you for that. Yeah. we'll take them for just only so long, you know.
Yeah,
we have to
they keep finding their way back home, but you know.
yeah, we have to give them gas money to get out of town, so it's worth it.
But no, Ace, thank you again so much for coming on. I would love to down the road maybe do this again, have you back up and chat with you, especially once you're feeling better, and also just to catch up and see where the Broken Down Boomers, how that project's going with you. For you.
If we get booked in Ohio, I'm going to let you know, and so
Definitely.
invite you out to the show, put you on the guest list, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely let me know. My girlfriend and I, one of our things that we try to do, we're not as successful as we planned on this summer because we've been very busy this summer, but from my music show and my comedy show, I give about a 4-hour window. If any of my former guests are in that 4-hour window, we do everything we can to get out to a show. And it's another way that we support you guys is by taking I can't have you on the show and tell other people to come see you if I'm not going to take my ass out to see you guys and support you guys. So absolutely, if you get this way, let me know and we'll do everything we can to be at a show. I would love to.
I wish you all the best with your success and growth of your shows. And again, if we get a show up in Ohio, you're on the guest list. Definitely, you and a guest.
I appreciate that. Ace, you're welcome to drop down. I just got to do my closing spiel and then hit some buttons and get out of here. But you're welcome to drop down or you're welcome to hang out. Either way, I do. Again, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Greatly appreciate it. Had a great time. Everybody, make sure you go check out Ace. Follow him on social media and all that. That way you know what he's doing and where he's going to be at. And you never know. Broken Down Boomers may be coming to a city near you. And go check them out.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best, Glick.
Right back at you, bro. Later. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Good to be back in the old driver's seat. Took a little break, but it was definitely worth it. We had a lot of fun. Got to do some cool shit while I was gone. So that was cool. But stay tuned. Check out the rest of the network. I hope you guys are enjoying Rockley Reacts. It's the brand new show here on the network. You guys all know Rocky. He decided to do his own show. He just did his second one last night. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it. I'm working on getting everything up on the podcasting platform. So you guys that listen there, and we do appreciate y'all listening on Spotify and Apple and all that. Be able to listen as well and hear them. But you can always go watch the replays. Right here on YouTube. If you do watch the replays, drop a like, drop a comment. Goes a long way in helping us, supporting us, and pushing us out into the algorithms. We got to feed the algorithm monster, ladies and gentlemen, and apparently doing all these shows aren't enough. So we got to do some more, and you guys can help us by doing that. Just drop a like on it. Drop a little comment. Let us know what you like or what you don't like about the shows. We can take critiques. It's okay. We're all big boys here. But tune in tomorrow night. I think Wally's back with the roof truck stuff. I don't know. I never know what Wally's doing. And then, of course, typically on Fridays, if you're not following the Lazy Shaman show, which you should be, we do stream it here on our network. So you can watch it here and show the guys some loves that way as well. And then, of course, this Saturday, we will be back for Nonsensical Nonsense. Your boy's back. I took a day off. I took a weekend off last weekend, but I'll be back this Saturday night hanging out, doing what we do. I got to reach out to my co-host for Unnecessary Roughness and see what's going on and see when we're going to kick that off, because football season is upon us, boys and ladies. So we got to start talking some foosball on Sundays. And then, of course, very soon, Kayla and I will be back. And not this Sunday, but the next following Sunday. And no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to. We got to pay off our Waverly visit. So lots of things going on. Lots of shows that you guys can watch. A lot of different content. From music to comedy to sports to motorsports, just all out bullshit, and even you guys into the paranormal and cryptids and true crime and stuff, man, we offer literally a little bit of everything here. This channel is about as ADD as I am in real life. So, but bio.link/nonsensical network. That's got all of our social media links: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube. I think our Spotify's in there. Apple Podcasts. You guys can listen wherever you listen to podcasts at. We're there. We do have our Cash App and Venmo and all that stuff in there if you guys want to support the show. You guys, we've always got the super chats and gifts on YouTube. Greatly appreciate the support from you guys. It does help us keep everything up and running, keep the lights on, so to say. And yes, I do have something big coming very, very, very soon for you guys. It's time to put your money where your mouth is, so to say. But with that being said, I'm Glick, and this is Glick's Comedy Lounge. A little comedy unleashed. It's a little behind the scenes. We pull the curtain back on the comedy world and have a lot of fun, have some laughs, and get to know these stand-up comedians all over the country and world, for that matter. I do think I have had. I think I got a couple Canadian comedians coming up soon. So I guess I could say all over the world. So appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all supporting us. Thanks for all that fun jazz. With that being said, we're going to wrap this show up with a little Aubrey Nicole and Mackenzie Phillips with Devil Ain't in Hell. Aubrey was a former guest on Glick's House of Music. So, be good or be good at it, baby. Look out. Maybe I'm out.
I see that mask you're putting on. You think they'll never see it all. You think you got the upper hand, but honey, let me tell you you're wrong. You keep on telling all them bold lies. You keep on throwing up your sorry disguise. Soon they'll start to realize who's really stuck behind those amber eyes. All this time, keep running around pretending I'm the villain. You drew the knife, now let the games begin. That man's been cheating, leaving, deceiving every soul that he's been leading. He's been creeping, misleading. He'll stab you in the back but say he's bleeding. He may look like an angel in the light, but once that sun goes down you better run. The devil ain't in hell tonight. I thought I had him figured out. He was the hottest man in town, but he turned into flames. He burnt my name straight to the ground. Traded his halo for his stubborn pride. He sure as hell will never change his mind. One hand up, one on the Bible, and without a doubt I testify. The man's been cheating, leaving, deceiving every soul that he hell to